everyone. This is Rebecca Lombardo, co-founder of the 100 Collection, Insider's Guide to the Best Vacation Rental Stays, and fractional CMO. Today, I am here with Corinne from Breezeway. Hi, Corinne.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining me. So I'm excited to learn. Can you please tell me what Breezeway is and does?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's shifted a lot over the last few years. We launched in 2017, and many people know us as an operational platform. So essentially, we're helping coordinate your cleanings, inspections, maintenance, providing your team with custom checklists for each property that they're doing work at, and then providing you with sort of a comprehensive understanding of what's going on at that home to be able to make better recommendations to owners and showcase the value of the work that property managers are doing. Um, in the last few years, though, we've also launched a number of other products. We have a guest messaging service. We have a program called Assist, which is actually 24/7 after hours support that you can incorporate if that's something that either you can't offer to your guests or you need some help with, as well as a welcome book for guests. So we've really expanded our product line over the last few years. But the one thing that remains core is our commitment to the operational piece, because a lot of those things, all of those things really tie into operational needs that the guest has or that your team is working through during reservations.
Okay. So what makes Breezeway special?
Well, I would say there's definitely a bunch of things. I think one of them is that sort of commitment to this industry, right? Our founder, Jeremy, founded a company called FlipKey prior to Breezeway. We have really strong, deep roots in the vacation rental industry and understand a lot of the challenges that so many of the professionals are sort of tackling on an individual day. Our team is phenomenal. I think we get rave reviews around the level of support and the speed of our support. But a lot of that comes from that, again, that deep understanding of what we do and what our clients' needs. In fact, a number of folks on our client experience team and even a couple of people on our sales team come from property management backgrounds who maybe previously used Breezeway in a different role, understood the value, and were looking to make a change and are now working with us. So a lot of our team truly understands the daily challenges that people are facing. And then I think, second to that is just the product itself. I think that really niche focus around operations and the components and things that play into that, and really staying in our lane around building tools and features to support that part of the business. It's hard. It's definitely hard. We get a lot of questions like, can you build this? And can you do that? But, I think really being purposeful about what we're offering really makes us sort of stand out.
And is there a prerequisite to working with you? Because, if I, for example, don't have a cleaning person on staff, right? Like say I outsource that part of my business operations to another company. What does that mean in terms of using Breezeway or working with Breezeway?
No, well, the first prerequisite is just that you're awesome, and that you want to be committed to, professionalizing the operations that you run. But absolutely not. We have I think we have a really good mix of clients, both from size of client, number of properties that they manage, to number of employees. Some folks who leverage our system have one or two homes and one cleaning person that they utilize. Others have really 400 or 500 homes and large staffs that they're working with. But it really works for either side of the gamut. I will say one thing that's really nice is that oftentimes those cleaners that you're outsourcing that work to are probably getting work from many other companies. And so one of the things that we actually allow and sort of offer to those, we call them service partners, right? To those service partners is an opportunity to have an account where they can get work from me and reassign it out to their staff. So, and that's available to them at no additional charge. So in that scenario, we're actually helping them professionalize their business as well, and giving you the confidence that when you're assigning work to them, they're following your checklists. You have that visibility into what's being done, and they can actually, successfully complete the work.
So is there an ideal client profile that you have?
It's not that it's an ideal client profile. I think when we first started, we were, and again, with our sort of roots and background in the vacation rental industry, we worked with a lot of the more traditional, larger property management companies. There's certainly a need. I'm consistently impressed. I was just talking to a manager the other day with about 130 properties, and they're doing everything manually today. And it's wild to me for that to be how it's happening. So I'm consistently impressed with what's happening and how they're getting that work done. But I also think that as we're seeing a lot more new people, smaller businesses coming in, they're very tech focused, and they're really interested in sort of setting the foundational steps and building blocks that they need to be able to grow. And even if they don't want to grow, just to be successful. So no, I mean, we don't have an ideal customer. I think, what I always tell people is that it's really important that the people that are going to utilize the software are bought in, and that they understand it, and that they see the value, and they understand your why for investing in it. But we have, like I said, somebody with one property, somebody with 6,000 properties using the platform, and the needs sort of vary, and the complexities in which they use it, also sort of run the gamut there. But no, I mean, it's really built to help you just operationalize your work.
Okay, so it kind of started out as like, with the operations, any type of, people who were going in there to clean or repair or anything like that. And then it seems like it grew, like you said, thoughtfully to add on these other pieces, like once everybody was kind of bought in to using it, right?
Yeah, and a lot of that, honestly, the new functionality that we've built, it's things that have been in the back of our minds. But one of the things that we do really well, I think, is, I'm gonna just keep adding on all of the things that we do well, but I do truly believe that listening to our customers and building the tools that they need has sort of been, a contributor to how we've added these products on. We have an inventory program, and when it started, it just said like, okay, you can say that this thing was used, and the feedback that we got was, all right, that's awesome, but I also need to be able to know how many of them I've used and where I'm at from a stock level, right? And so we built out an inventory function which now does that. So as you are using paper towels or toilet paper or batteries or whatever, those are being deducted from your stock and then automatically notifying you when you get to a certain level so that you can reorder. And, when it started, that's not what the product did, right? That's not what that part of the system offered, but that feedback allowed us to build it in a way that was going to be useful for managers, and was something that sort of filled a gap they needed.
I can see that because, especially if I have properties I'm managing in two completely different cities or markets, and there's two completely different, cleaning crews, whether they're on staff or outsourced, and they're, going through and doing their schedule to clean, check the lists, close out, move on. They're using that already. The next thing that would make sense would be like, well, while I'm in there,
right?
Yes, you're also out of toilet paper, and this, like.
Right. But, and I think that and that's what a lot of people were doing, right? It's like, you tell me I need it, and then I write it on a sticky note, I stick it on my desk, and 3 days later, I'm like, oh, I finally got back to that sticky note. Oh, we need this, right? So I think automating it and leveraging technology that can sort of say, hey, you need this, it removes that human piece that can ultimately result in mistakes and things being missed, not for, lack of consideration or lack of caring, but just because, I can imagine, right, on a busy Saturday, ordering toilet paper when a house isn't turning for a week is not the top priority. And so having that there, and having that visibility is really important and just, you know, really drives that efficiency.
And also just to check real quick, when a crew finishes their cleaning and operations or maintenance or what have you, and they're gonna communicate that, yes, I've checked that box, this unit is now ready for someone to check in, that communication goes back to your client, right?
Yeah, it's super interesting. So depending on, you know, obviously everybody operates a little bit differently, but if we think about that traditional, a guest checks out, then a cleaner goes in, then an inspector goes in, and then another guest is checking in. The capability within Breezeway exists so that guest A actually texts and says check out, right? I've left the unit. And you can do that today with like door locks and things like that. But I mean, personally, I was leaving a unit, I forgot to hit that code, and I got, you know, not far, but I got a little bit down the road. And because I'm in this industry, I was like, oh shoot, like, so we turned around and I went back and did it. But you know, I could just send a text that says check out. That would actually say, okay, guest A has left the property. It would automatically notify your cleaner via text or email that house A is now open. That cleaner could go in, do the work that they need, say, I'm done. That inspector would get a notification saying house is ready, it's cleaned, you can go in and inspect it. And if that's all that needs to be done, then yes, you as a manager could get a notification that says property A is now ready, or you would see that in the dashboard. Or, and again, this everybody operates differently. There are certain scenarios where if it's within X amount of time before your check-in, you could actually notify the guest that, hey, your house, the incoming guest, that your house is ready. And all of that can be done through automation if you choose to. So that's one of the things that's really nice is the platform is super customizable. So if you don't want the guest to get that alert that the house is ready early, you don't have to send that, right? But you can still capitalize on maybe that additional clean time if the guest leaves early. And so we've really tried to make it, you know, a way of not changing the work that's being done, but just sort of reducing some of those friction points.
Okay. So, you know, if you think about the pain points that you guys have addressed, you think about your happiest clientele, why are they so happy with you right now?
You know, I think there's a couple of reasons. I think one is the fact that we truly do listen, and we don't always have the answer that you want, but we always can share, you know, what's happening, and we are really good at communicating back to our product team. I also think that like our understanding of the industry allows them to be able to come to us and ask for recommendations and best practices. But you know, I think there's one client that that stands out to me. And there's a lot of clients, and I love all of them, and they're wonderful and great. But this particular one, they have been a client since 2020, and they were using our operations product. At some point, they added in our messaging product, and then in Kansas City at VRMA this spring, we were chatting, and I said, hey, let me tell you about these other two products that we have now. And those are our assist product, which is that after hours service, and our guide product. And this particular client had been evaluating other softwares for a guide because we didn't have it until February. And she was thrilled when she found out that, like, wait, you already have a ton of data about my homes and understanding of my homes. So I can do a guidebook within Breezeway and eliminate the need to have another software. And so she was, you know, obviously very thrilled about that. I think one of the things we hear a lot is like, I'm not looking, you know, in many cases to like add technology. I'm looking to sort of reduce the number of technologies and looking for technologies that can sort of fill a couple of gaps for me. And so she was thrilled to be able to do that. But more importantly, she shared with me that she was actually able to let her whole staff take Memorial Day off, with the exception of cleaners, unfortunately, because, you know, they had some turnovers. But by utilizing our assist program, she didn't have to man the phones. Her after hours team didn't have to. And it was the first time that, since she had bought the company a few years ago, that they were all able to actually enjoy a holiday. And so, like, for me, that makes me really happy because, you know, there's a huge business impact there, but also like a quality of life, employee satisfaction, loyalty, all of that stuff is being impacted. And I thought that was really cool that she was able to do that.
Wow, that is really cool.
So cool, right? A holiday weekend.
Yeah, I mean, especially being in our industry, for someone to be like, I got to enjoy a holiday.
Yeah. It was, I mean, it was just, I was so thrilled. And, you know, she felt bad. She was like, not my cleaners, you know, we still had to turn houses over, but all of our office staff, guest services, reservations, etc. And so I thought that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. So tell me a little bit about you. Where are you based somewhere on the East Coast, West Coast? Where are you?
I am in the Midwest. I am in Ohio. Um, I grew up here. I moved to Boston. I spent 18 years there. That's where Breezeway is headquartered. And then last year, I actually moved back, not to my hometown. That was just a smidge too small, but I moved back to Ohio. I'm outside of Cleveland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, if anybody wants to say hi to you at like conferences or wants to follow up with you, or if they want to get in touch with Breezeway, like what would you recommend?
Yeah. I mean, please come say hi. I talk a lot about the fact that this community is what I love most. The people in it is what makes it so special. And so I'll be at a lot of conferences this fall. Come say hi. If you want to talk to me, you're welcome to reach out on LinkedIn. You can email me. My email is just Corinne, and it's KORYN @breezeway.io. You can also, if you want to talk to someone on our sales team, VIP @breezeway.io is a great email address, or reach out to me and I'm happy to put you in touch. Or go check out our website. And there's a lot of information. There's case studies, there's videos, there's also a lot of educational content that you can use, and some resources available to you.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Corinne. It's always a pleasure speaking with you.
So fun. Thank you for having me.
Cheers. Bye, everybody.
And